Welcome today. I have a fabulous salad for you. It's asparagus and roasted potatoes, and we're going to be using all different kinds of greens. I'll talk about those in a bit. And we'll be making an avocado dressing. So I appreciate you joining us today, and I want to give credit to one of our viewers. I think she watches our videos. Her name is Wendy Banning, and she's from Carborough, North Carolina. And this is a slight adaptation of the recipe that she shared with us. We'll come back together and we'll start putting it on. All right, it's time to make the dressing. I like to do this and get it out of the way so that it'll have time to set up and sit a little bit. So one of our bases that we're using is going to be this nut milk. I happen to have a cashew milk already made, and you can check out our other videos to look over our nut milks. We'll shoot you up a reference for that, and you can click on that and take a look at it, but this is very simple. So we'll start with that, and remember when you're using the Vitamix, especially if you're using harder vegetables or drier vegetables, you always want to make sure you load the Vitamix up first with the liquid. So I'm just going to put a little bit in, and I'm sort of just eyeballing this because I can always add more water or I can add more cashew milk if I want at the end. And I had some avocados that were already cut from another recipe. That's one of the things I'm trying to get you used to is plan ahead, and if you know later on you're going to be using avocado for something, do double your recipe. So I'm just pulling this one out. Boy, these are nicely ripened. If you don't have any avocado experience, you can get them hard and then just sit them on the counter and just wait until they soften. Or you can look for ones that have a little bit of softness to them, but not too brown. If they're bright green and hard, you've got 4, 5, 6, 7 days. But if they're a little softer and they're starting to turn a little bit brown, then you're probably ready to start slicing and dicing and making your recipe. So I have the milk in the bottom, and then I've added the avocados. And sometimes the traditional recipes will call for things like vinegar. And to balance this out a little bit more with the pH and the alkalinity and make sure that overall you're not getting too much of any one thing, I'm just going to do the juice of a lemon. This is 1 lemon. And this is to taste. Like if you find that this is just too tart for you and you don't like all that tanginess, then you can do less of it. And if you're a fan of the vinegar, or if your diet allows for it, you can go ahead and to taste use vinegar and the lemon really. So I've got that in, we'll put that out of the way. Of course we're going to salt and pepper. I like to think of this as like my ranch dressing because it's going to get really creamy like that, but you don't have any dairy products in it. You don't have any additives, you don't have any processed stuff, and of course you're making it now. It hasn't been sitting in your refrigerator for months and months or on the shelves months and months before that. Now the one thing that you may not have a lot of experience with is mustard. And again, some of the recipes that you might see for these kinds of dressings, they'll call for like Dijon mustard or yellow mustard, but again that has a lot of vinegar in it. So I'm using a mustard powder, a pure mustard powder, and then I'm just dropping that in. That's going to give us that little bit of zip and tang. So I'll blend that up and we'll be back together to start plating. And before we plate the meal, I want to just go ahead and show you the process for adding to the Vitamix. We have all of our base ingredients in, and we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the Vitamix on low, and then while that's blending, I'm just going to go ahead and start to pour the olive oil in. And you can do 3 or 4 tablespoons. You can add a little more if you want, or a little less. So we'll just let that blend a little bit and we'll check it for texture, and then we'll be time to put it on our beautiful plate. Welcome back. I don't know about you, but I'm getting hungry. It's time to put it all together. So what I have is a tray of roasted red potatoes. I just basically wash these. Of course they're organic, with potatoes being up there at the top of the GMO, genetically modified organisms and crops. You really want to look for good quality potatoes. So these are a red organic potato. They were washed, and a little dirt on them won't actually help you, especially if it was grown in a good environment. I cubed them, made them in little cubes, put a little bit of olive oil, first press cold olive oil, salt and pepper, and I just basically tossed them in the oven on 450 while I did other things. So I put this in first because I knew it was going to take longer to cook. And we're going to start our plate with the potatoes. You don't have to do it this way. You can go in a reverse order if you want. You can do vegetables first if you want to. You can do potatoes later. And I'm just going to plate this for one, and again, save the rest for something else. Make homemade home fries, make some little scallop potatoes. And today I have 3 different greens. I have a dark leaf romaine lettuce, and I'm going to go ahead and place that on. And again, I've cut extra because I know I'm going to be making something different with the rest. My kids like that homemade chipotle, so I like to get other things cut up so that I can quickly put together like a bowl for them. And I also have some arugula, and it's a mixed greens blend, so it's got some of the purple leaves, so that. And then I have some organic spinach. So I've got 3 nice greens on here. Could you just go with one of them? Sure, you could do that. You can put whatever greens down you want, but I like to get a good variety and a lot. And then here I have some asparagus that I've just basically steamed for 4 minutes, and then I've chopped them into little sections. The original recipe called for raw shaved asparagus, and that's a nice way to change it up if you would like. But now I have 2 warm things on here, and depending on your tolerance for cold, you know, the Ayurvedic medicine talks about certain types needing certain temperatures for digestion. So this gives you 2 warm things. And of course, we'll plate it at the end with this beautiful avocado dressing. I have it fairly thick, but you could put a little bit more water or nut milk into your mix, and you could make it just a little bit runnier, like it would pour out like a ranch dressing. And again, there's enough here for a couple of days. This will keep. I want to thank you for joining us, and I hope that you're getting inspired to create healthy meals at home that really don't take a lot of time, where you know what the ingredients are, and where really you're going to promote your own health by taking the time. We'll see you soon.